Hello everyone, and welcome to, or back to One Inspiring Word. I'm your host, and fun fact about me is that I play volleyball. And for this week's episode, I'd like to share with you my volleyball journey. Why am I doing that? If I'm going to be honest, I never want to forget it. And if it's recorded somewhere, you know how stuff never comes off the internet. But also, it's my story, and I don't know if there's going to be a happy ending. And the one inspiring word for this week is going to be volleyball. You'll see why. So picture this, a 4th grader and a pretty ambitious mom, but I love her for it. So my best friend was playing volleyball at the time, and it was for my school team. We were called the Bobcats, and we were not very good. I think a lot of people that go pro, just in any sport in general, they start at a really young age, and they rock at it. And I wasn't necessarily bad. I could pass, I could serve. I just wasn't that experienced to a really competitive form of volleyball. But that's where I first learned the rules. And guys, when you're good at something, you want to continue it. But also, when I was a kid, I was really ambitious. And still now, to this day, I hate giving up on stuff. So at the time, I was also playing basketball, soccer, chess, tennis, and volleyball. And that was after my ice skating, ballet, and gymnastics phase, which is kind of crazy now that I think about it. And then COVID hit, and my parents dropped everything. COVID is kind of the reason why I can, barely see 6 feet. I don't even remember what I did, but I think I missed out on crucial years. But I didn't begin volleyball again until 6th grade. And, yeah, I was pretty rusty. But one of the things that I've always been good at, back in 4th grade, is I always went to practice with my mom. So I had really good ball control, passing wise. So at that level, I think I progressed pretty quickly. And then I still remember my first game back. This coach, this lady that has bright purple, curly hair. I think I set off a really bad impression because I hadn't gone to any practices. My mom just dropped me off at this club. And so I still remember, so volleyball goes to a set of 25, and there's 2 sets of that, and a game is best out of 3. And I remember the score being, I think, 24-13. Yeah, we were losing pretty badly. And so I was up next to serve, and I remember underhanding 5 aces, something like that. And then it ended 25-19, and we lost. But I remember that clearly. And it went pretty well from there. I think I really enjoyed volleyball because I was good at it. And I went to camps, and I went to clinics. I think they were every Monday and Wednesday. And so after that school season kind of ended, I tried out to be on a team, and I got on. And the coach for this team, it was a guy named Blake, and he had a ton of tattoos on one side of his leg. And he didn't show up for half of our practices. Yeah, he was a chill guy. And I did pretty well on the team. We did fine. We weren't crazy good, but I feel like he wasn't that committed to our team, but he quit after that year, I think, because I think he played professional volleyball. But anyway, he was the first person to say, not the first person, but I remember very distinctly him saying, oh my goodness, you have really good hands. Okay, I know that sounds really weird, but in volleyball, when you have really good hands, that's referring to when you set. And so there's kind of 3 distinct positions in volleyball, a passing specialist, a setting specialist, which is the setter, and it's kind of like the quarterback kind of, and then there's hitters. And so that was the second time someone had said something about my hands. At that point, I was still underhanding. Most of the people on my team were, but we were trying to get 3 touches, and in volleyball, you want 3 touches. That's how, you know if you're it's kind of like a mark of coming of age, but basically 3 touches in volleyball. So after it comes over the net on your side, you get a pass, a set, and preferably a hit. And there's obviously exceptions, but there's a pass by usually someone in the back row, usually a passing specialist, and then there's a set from the setter, and then there's a hit from usually the hitters. So after that season ended, oh yeah, I forgot to say, that was the first time I went to a tournament. And I totally understand if this is really hard to get, because I feel like, I'm trying not to use that much volleyball jargon, but there's volleyball jargon. But I went to my first tournament, and it was awful. And we got destroyed. And so we're still playing for select, which is, if you've ever heard of club for a sport, that's like one of the highest levels. I think there's one above it. It doesn't really make sense to me. There's like an open division. But anyway, there's like a club division. And below that, there's like select. And so select gets like a few tournaments. But everything else is just like games. I also have this very distinct memory. So when we were on select, our coach did not teach us. So in volleyball, okay, it's kind of confusing to get the hang of it. But there's like base, there's serve receive when the other team is serving at you. And there's also free ball transition. And there's also like defensive, positions, kind of. So we were still running like the classic one person goes in and then you just rotate after every ball. And then you sit on the bench and then you go back in and then you go all 6 rotations. Yeah, that's not how professional volleyball works. So if you think about it like that, when we were at the tournament, we got destroyed. Everyone else was like overhanding, like it was awful. And Blake, he didn't really bat an eye. His speeches were like, "Hey, it's okay, guys." But after that season ended, I was really sad because I was moving schools, so I really wanted to be on a team with all my friends. So I declined an offer to be on another, I think, select team for the spring season. And I think that would have really helped me. But I did for my friends, and our team wasn't that good. But I do remember, I was one of the more experienced players on the team. And, one of the things I always love about volleyball is that you're a team, and you lift people up, and you win and lose together. That is why it's a team sport. Everyone needs to be all in to play it. So fast forward to 7th grade. That was a tough volleyball year. So I got an offer for club for the 3rd team, which my club only had 3 teams. So yeah, it was fine. Like, we were fine. But it was really competitive, and the coach did not like me. But I was a setter, and this is the first time I ever got, I got to experience the really competitive atmosphere of volleyball. And sports can get really competitive. But this coach was like 60. And her assistant coach had the same name as her. And she was her daughter. And they both did not like me. I think one of the reasons why was because I smiled too much. Like, I got benched because of that. Because they thought I was laughing off my mistakes. But, like, every tournament, I would end up crying, which is probably on my part. It was, like, crazy. Like, I'd have to, like, she'd be like, okay, you know what? You're not playing for the rest of the game. Go watch the score. And then she'd make me watch the score. It was awful. And I didn't really bond with my teammates that well. And I was not happy. But I learned a lot that club year. I learned to work hard. And I learned, I put work into the sport. And my parents put work into the sport. This is a privilege. And I'm going to use it. I'm going to work hard for it. And so let's jump again to 8th grade year. Athletics. Okay, so club season, over the summer, I went to a few meet the coaches, and I got an offer the first time I went. I think she really liked the way I communicated, and I think she liked the way, I don't know, she's awesome. And yeah, more about my coach later, but club season starts right after school season ends. So school season, oh my goodness, it was awesome. So actually, if we go back in time, 7th grade, oh my goodness, it was so bad. All my teammates, I was new at this school, and like all my teammates hated me, and I was benched, and I would like pray that I didn't get playing time, and I was on the top team, but I was like, there was like a big jump from being on the second team to the top team. Like the top team, you knew how to play at like the highest level. The second team wasn't as experienced, but I feel somewhere like in between that, so that neither was good for me, but I was on the top team at my school, and it was not good. So after that full year of like torturous volleyball, I went to tryouts, and I was going to play on the second team. And so tryouts were like really competitive this year. And so I ended up getting on the second team, and it was really fun. Once again, big jump from being on the second team. Actually, okay, the level of being the second team and the first team was like kind of similar. But I made so many friends, and it was so fun. And then, so back to club. Every week, I've been trying to work on my vertical, and I've been practicing on passing and setting and hitting and tipping and like doing those one-handed sets and things like that. And I love volleyball. I love my team, and I've put in work, my family's put in work, everyone's put in work. I play setter and right side, which setter is kind of like a quarterback, not really. Like volleyball is like just like a different sport. But right side, so in volleyball, there are essentially six people that can be on the court. And so if you think about it like that, there's 6 different rotations. And so only like there's not a lot of people that can be on the court the whole time. So like you rotate in and out, but also you can only have a certain number of subs, and there has to be at least one person that stays on the court the whole time, the floor captain. So this year, I'm the floor captain. I have to pass, I hit, I get to set, and I'm on an amazing team with people that are really nice, and I have a coach that, oh my goodness, she's amazing. Like she's gotten us to like, I don't know, she picked out. Number one, okay, I love how she talks about how she's picked out all of us, like specifically chosen us for this team. And I love her. She's really nice. Like she wants to win. And obviously, like she makes us run and stuff. Like she doesn't go easy on us, but I love her so much. And I love my team, and I love the people that I've met, 7th graders and 8th grader. I've actually blocked, guys. I'm 5'4", but I blocked one. It wasn't crazy, but yeah. So there's so much more I could talk about. I could talk about practices. I could talk about running downs and backs. I could talk about plays, X and Y. I could talk about crazy moments. I could talk about aces. I have a jump serve now. Spot serving. I could talk about like shorts. I could talk about like crazy lines and like floats and crazy saves. And yeah, my team has worked really hard this year, and I'm proud of us. And I love our chemistry. And we played in a all-day tournament. We were at this place for 13 hours, more than 13 hours, and we got first. It was awesome. Guys, I love that, like, stress that volleyball, like, gives you, number one. And I love that competitive feeling, but I love, like, our team coming together and getting points together and everyone celebrating and, like, jumping in the air and, like, our cheers. It's so fun. And I think I'm going to have to quit. I'm going to enjoy it while I have it, but next year for high school, I'm going to have to make the option between volleyball being my number one priority and debate and public speaking. And for reasons, I don't think I'm going to choose volleyball. I really struggled with this. I do not want to give it up, but I don't want to give up the friends. I don't want to give up all the work and the money and the time my parents have put in. And I'm willing to work hard for anything. But I think I stand a better chance with debate and public speaking. And I love making connections with people and meeting new people. And guys, like, your voice matters. Like, that's so important to me. And public speaking just has a really deeper connection to me than volleyball. But right now, volleyball is my number one priority, and I'm going to enjoy it. I'm the floor captain, and I'm going to make the best of it. I'm so scared for high school. I'm so scared to lose my friends, and I'm scared what if I get fat, and what if I become homeless, and there's so many things I'm scared about. But guys, we're just going to rock on and look ahead, and we're going to work hard. And even if things are going awfully, guys, I believe in this order in our universe, that beauty can be brought out of brokenness, and that there is a big picture. It's going to be hard. High school, it's going to be awful. There are going to be awful things that happen. But I'm going to hold on to what I still can, and I'm going to enjoy what I have. Thank you so much for listening. And if you ever want me to talk more about volleyball, I will. And if you have any questions about volleyball or like any like stories, I would love to hear it. Or if you're struggling with the same thing, making a big decision and balancing the pros and cons and what you believe in and what you love. I just want to say, I believe in you, and you got this. Hearts. Thank you so much, and happy President's Day.